This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live here on a Travel Tuesday. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the Mark Thompson show. David K. Johnston was amazing today. Jefferson Graham had so many good tech stories. Of course, if you saw the Nikki Maduro show, Nikki has been under the weather, hoping she'll be back in it tomorrow, but at this point it was me filling in today, but hope you enjoyed that show as well. And here we are taking a little bit of a breather here on the After Party live. Already you guys are jumping in to support the show. Of course, Wes, who's always got my back with the $5 super sticker. Huge thank you, Wes. Huge thank you. And Harry, who I just received a Facebook friend request from, says $5. I don't mind playing second fiddle to Wes. You guys are both equally as important to the After Party live. No, thank you very much, both of you, and thank you for the friend request, Harry. I did accept it, and so now we're friends here and on social media as well. So there you go. Is this considered social media? I think probably yes. YouTube is social media. All right, well that's okay. This first story. Oh, before I jump in, please click the like button. You guys are kind of old hat at this. Please click the subscribe button as well if you haven't already, working to collect those subscribers. And I want to jump into the chat because sometimes I kind of dig into the stories and I don't really get to see what everyone is talking about and greet you guys. Julie saying hello, partiers. Hello, Julie. Greetings, Kim watchers. Greetings to you, Gordon. Nice. Maud taking the lunch break. Wes just back from feeding the dogs. Yeah, it was a little Mark Thompson show meeting, but here we go. Thank you, Doug, for the love. I will take the love. Wes, SF Tesla says nobody had time to rush out and get a pink Ms. Predicto globe. That's Dr. Predicto to you, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Gordon, thanking Wes and Harry, and I thank them as well. So, and thank you for clicking the like button. Absolutely. Yeah, I hope she feels better, Doug. She's really not doing well, so hope she's better. Walter says, YouTube is the only social media I indulge in. All right. Oh, hi, friends. Hi, Heather Kennedy. Heather's having some great summer adventures. Loving to see that on Facebook. Okay, let's jump into the stories of the day. This first one is kind of ick, I have to tell you. I don't really want to post all the pictures, but I can't tell you the story without sharing some of the gross, some of the ick. Here's this beautiful picture of Yosemite. People flock there. I mean, it's wonderful to hike in the fall. It's wonderful to visit. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to visit in the summer. And most of the time, I think people who enjoy our national and state parks know, right? Enjoy nature, going to the beach, going to whatever. What's the statement? It's take only pictures, leave only footprints, right? Respect the environment, respect the place that you're visiting for its beauty's sake, and leave it pristine for others to enjoy as well. Well, sadly, that is not what is happening at Yosemite National Park. As a matter of fact, the National Park Service is now pleading with people that are coming to Yosemite to not leave their garbage and their yuck all over the park. People are leaving used toilet paper behind. So the National Park Service took to their social media channels that they really need you to pack it in. Here's the message that they sent. Well, let me show you the pictures first. Here's where you're going to visit, right? Let's pan out. There's what it looks like when you walk up to see this view. Look at the toilet paper in the front. You see this? And sadly, I'll zoom in. Toilet paper, a whole roll left behind. Are you kidding me? I mean, who was that? These are the people that need the big fines. Sorry, I know I don't want to show you the gross up toilet paper, but come on. So here's what they said on the social media page. This is a quote from the National Park Service. Picture this, they say. Yosemite's magic wilderness, stunning vistas, and surprise, used toilet paper waving hello near Rancheria Falls, a full roll too. Unfortunately, they write, this is a site that's become all too familiar in Yosemite, even in wilderness areas. If you bring toilet paper out on your trips, please pack it out too. You can bring a sealable plastic baggie to stash it in. Even cover the bag in tape so you don't have to look at it. Because really, nobody wants to stumble upon a surprise package left behind by an anonymous outdoor enthusiast. Please don't bury toilet paper, they say. It's easily exposed by weather and erosion, and animals can dig it up and disperse it long before it decomposes, which, they say, can take 1 to 3 years depending on conditions. Some animals may even use it for nesting material. Ew. Let's keep things clean, they say, and classy out there by packing out whatever you carry in. Follow #LeaveNoTrace ethics to be sure our adventures make memories and not messes. How embarrassing that the National Park Service has to tell people to pack out their grossness. So, ew. They are, they're really having to hit this hard because it's trashing the environment here. Again, here's what you want to see, here's what you do see, and here's the close-up of what you do see. So, I mean, we're not going to do that. I know that our crowd, we're the responsible people, right? But, yeah. Some other tourist information today. A lot of people are going to Death Valley, and it is one of the, looking at Travel Tuesday stuff today and the best places to visit in California, it's on every list, going to Death Valley. But you've got to be really, really careful at Death Valley. There are people flocking here despite a deadly heat wave. This is brutal. Really, really brutal. There's hundreds of European tourists visiting the adventures from around the U.S. They're drawing them to Death Valley National Park, even though this is known as one of Earth's hottest places. There was a death of a motorcyclist over the weekend because of the heat in this area. They get out of their rental cars and their motor homes, and they try to take pictures of the desert, the landscape, and they get hit by the heat. One of the folks visiting from Mississippi said, I was excited it was going to be this hot. Really? He said it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, kind of like walking on Mars. This from a tourist from Mississippi headed to Death Valley. But what people don't get is that heat like this can really pose a health threat. That, you know, you think that it's like walking on Mars, or you think that, and you think you're prepared, and it just hits you. We broke some heat records over the weekend, and we'll keep doing so into the next week. Yeah, it's brutal out there. So if you're headed this way, be really, really careful, because this is no joke. They have extreme highs near the in the forecast, in the near forecast, possibly 130 degrees around midweek. So, this is bad stuff. You know, you go there, you have to know what you're doing. Here in California, a mansion has been seized. Kind of an interesting story. At least I found it pretty interesting. It's a story of international bribery and crime. The U.S. government has taken one of Los Angeles, the most pricey mansions in Los Angeles, in this corruption scandal. It's the Department of Justice seizing this multi-million-dollar mansion in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Los Angeles. The mansion is in Holmby Hills, and it was owned by the family of a former Armenian government official. His name is Gagik Khachatryan, and he allegedly bought it with millions of dollars in bribe payments. It's 33,652 square feet, 11 bedrooms, 27 bathrooms. Imagine having to clean all of those. It's just a few doors down from the Playboy Mansion. So, yeah, you can picture the neighborhood there. They tried to sell it in 2022 for $63.5 million. It's now listed for $40 million. So here's what happened. Khatchaturian, this according to the Department of Justice, served as Armenia's Minister of Finance and chairman of its State Revenue Committee. His two sons bought this property in 2011 for $14 million after allegedly getting $20 million in bribe money for favorable tax treatment from a businessman there. Khatchaturian, according to SF Gate, was the most senior official in charge of taxes and customs in Armenia. So they're working it out with the Department of Justice, the Khatchaturians, and they reach a settlement with the family in which the federal government takes ownership of this mansion, sells it for the highest obtainable market price. The Department of Justice set to keep 85% of the profit. The leftover money will go to Khatchaturian's sons and their corporation. Wild. The sons say they will be cooperating with the settlement, but they think this case is politically motivated. They say the accusations against them are false. They say that two men were developing this property and that it was the fourth piece of Los Angeles real estate that they were investing in. But yeah, so now this mansion has a corrupt and storied past. It's quite a place. Look at that. I mean, when you talk about, real estate in the millions, this is what I picture. Now in California, real estate in the millions, it's a tract home from the 70s. But yeah, $40 million for this one in Holmby Hills. Who knows? Maybe Mark can move in. I don't know. Let's move to animals, because they've got these elephants at the Oakland Zoo. And this one is beloved and is being moved now to reunite with other African elephants at a sanctuary. This elephant has spent more than 20 years at the Oakland Zoo, and the zoo announced this week that Ahhhh is his name. Ahhhh is a 30-year-old male elephant set to leave the zoo this fall for a new forever home at the Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee. Why? Well, Ahhhh is the only remaining African elephant at the Oakland Zoo, because Donna, the last female African elephant who lived there, moved to the same location last September. The sanctuary in Tennessee is accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, so Ahhhh gets to be reunited with Donna and other African elephants. Pretty cool. Here's another picture of Ahhhh. Aww. Ahhhh is being moved to the sanctuary after the folks at the Oakland Zoo did this nationwide search to find a compatible African elephant to join him at the zoo, and they just couldn't find a situation that worked out. So zoo officials called the decision to relocate Ahhhh difficult and heartbreaking, but they said it's really the best for his well-being. They said, although it's difficult to say farewell to Ahhhh, we're filled with joy knowing he's found a new home at the sanctuary. He'll have the opportunity to socialize and develop relationships with many other elephants over his lifetime, something that he wasn't being offered at the Oakland Zoo. And they said those of us who know and love him, including the Oakland Zoo community, will miss him terribly. They picked this sanctuary in Tennessee, thinking it would be able to provide the elephants with extensive social opportunities. And elephants are really social creatures. So he'll be able to communicate and smell and be with the other elephants. Kind of a cool deal there for him. They say they're hopeful that Ahhhh and Donna will also have the opportunity to reunite. Ahhhh is 11 feet 2 inches tall, 15,000 pounds, so it's going to be hard to move him. He has to be transported in a specially designed air-conditioned trailer that provides him with enough space for the 40-hour-long trip to his new home. So, in the coming months, the sanctuary staff is going to come out to the Oakland Zoo to try to establish some kind of relationship with Ahhhh so he knows people before he gets there. Kind of sweet the way they're doing this. No, yeah. So Ahhhh going to a better place. This is great. Great news. You won't be able to see him at the Oakland Zoo anymore, but that's, I think that's better for him. Super moss. This is super moss. Kind of cool looking super moss. It could, they think, sustain life on Mars. Interesting. It's a super resilient moss. It springs back to life within seconds, even after it gets zapped with radiation. When it's dehydrated, after it's frozen, boom, comes back to life like that. It's called Centrichia canaveris moss, and it was found in the desert in the western region of Xinjiang, China. And the thinking is it could help sustain colonies on Mars. This according to experts at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Interesting. What we know about moss is that it's a really absorbent plant. It can hold more than its own body weight, you could say, in water. So scientists dried out this particular species of moss and rehydrated it. It sprang right back to life within seconds. They froze it. They zapped it with radiation. They tried to mess it all up. They're trying to recreate conditions on Mars. And still, the moss came back to life, photosynthesizing and growing like normal. If it's on Mars, scientists think it could help make oxygen, suck up CO2, and help keep the soil fertile there as well. They think that they say, even after losing more than 98% of its water content, this moss was able to recover within seconds when it was rehydrated. It can regenerate after being stored in a freezer for 5 years or in liquid nitrogen for a month. It was found in Xinjiang, Tibet, a Californian desert, the Middle East, and polar regions as well. So this is it. This is, I guess, what's going to help us in Mars. This little plant that's going to make it all possible, apparently. So, in the U.S., we've got at NASA, there's a 20-year plan for Mars. They're trying to figure out whether it's habitable for humans. So discoveries like this kind of help that whole situation. Maybe it'll come to fruition. Okay, I have one last video to show you. No, two. I have 2 videos to show you. This one, sadly, is about this moment where an ice cream van was swept out to sea in Cornwall. And video was taken by people who watched it bob up and down in the ocean, being tossed around in the waves. I have it here. Here you go. Let's take a look at this dramatic moment when this ice cream truck, Kelly Whip, goes over. Oh no, not the ice cream truck. Oh, it's kind of going belly up there, back and forth in the waves. No bueno. Yeah, sayonara ice cream truck. Yeah, it kind of gets pulled out further and further and further. A lot of people tried to go out and rescue it, but it wasn't gonna happen. Nobody hurt at this incident at Harlan Bay near Padstow in Cornwall. The man who filmed this incident, see if I can show it to you again. He said, there it is. Check it out. Yeah. Yikes. He told the Sky News folks the driver had apparently offloaded the ice cream when the tide came and over the van and just swamped it. And so a lot of people on the beach got a rope. They tried pulling it. They just got nowhere. He said when the tide went out, a farmer went down with his tractor, put a rope on it, and then towed it up on the beach. So they finally did get it out at the very end. The driver was safe and well, not in the vehicle, and the world is without another ice cream truck, sadly. That's the way it goes. How about Travel Tuesday? Let's go to it. Woohoo! It's Travel Tuesday. First stop in California before we head to Greece today. Yeah, we're going to Greece. I know, it's the time of the week where you can take a collective breath. No, we're going on a little virtual vacation. Not for a long time, just for what? The next 25 minutes or so, right? And we're just return from our virtual vacation a little more relaxed. That's the whole point of Travel Tuesday. Also, maybe to give you some ideas of what to put on your travel bucket list. The first stop, though, is in California. And this is Cambria. And Cambria is on the list at Travel and Leisure of the best small town beaches. So, beautiful. Cambria. It's a small town, one of the most beautiful coastal destinations in our state. A little bit about Cambria, which should be accessible to most of us, right? It's halfway between two of the most popular cities in California, halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles. They say it's a breath of fresh air for those who seek quieter travel moments. So, what to know before you go to Cambria? Well, they've got about 5,000 full-time residents there. They have a lot of relaxation opportunities. It's a good place to soak up the sun. The shoreline a little bit rugged. The migrating whales swim by here. You can rent a beach cruiser bike to roll through town. You could visit one of the wineries. They have a lot of wineries there. It's not a place really to party, but it's a place to go if you'd like to release tension and drop your shoulders a bit, according to Travel and Leisure. One of the best things to visit in Cambria, Moonstone Beach, which I think is pictured here. Dramatic views, beautiful vistas, rock formations as well. You can see it from the cliff. You can climb down to the sand. You can check the tide pools. You can keep your eye on the horizon for the whales swimming by. There's a 1-mile boardwalk as well that if it's great for folks that want to walk end to end, but maybe they can't handle the uneven pavement. The Piedras Blancas elephant seal rookery is there. So you could, it's just north of Cambria in San Simeon. And it's an incredible experience to go check it out. Really beautiful. They say it's worth the drive. You can witness thousands, sometimes as many as 17,000 elephant seals. And it's incredible. I have a picture. I think I have a picture for you. Yeah. Check out all the elephant seals just hanging out on the beach in San Simeon. Beautiful. It's, they're resting on the beach for breeding, birthing, and molting before they move on to explore the wider ocean. So according to Piedras Blancas Friends of the Elephant Seal, the number of seals here peak 3 times during the year. It's late January, early May, and late October. So if you're headed to see this, you want to plan for late October at this point. And they have rules. You can't approach them. Even if you see an elephant seal pup struggling by itself on the sand, they say it's natural selection. You don't try to help. You don't do anything. You just observe. But it's really incredible watching them interact like this. You can check out the Piedras Blancas Friends of the Elephant Seal live cam to see how many seals are there just before you plan your trip or you're headed out there to go. See if, it's a good time. Another thing that's really cool to see in Cambria is the Fiscalini Ranch Preserve. It's a 437-acre area, and it's home to several endangered species that, who knows, if you're walking along this pathway, you might actually see some of them. It's a really beautiful, picturesque area. Here it is, the Fiscalini Ranch Preserve. They say it's a protected oasis that guests can explore every day of the year for free. You can come hike the miles of trails along steep ocean bluffs, through verdant grasslands, and towering forests as well. So, really pretty area. And then, if you're from a place like I am, Sonoma County, maybe wine tasting is your jam, or maybe you get enough of it at home, I don't know. But in Cambria, they have some really wonderful wine tasting areas, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. So especially if you're going with perhaps a group of people, really wonderful wines. Check it out. A very picturesque little area. Several tasting rooms in Cambria. They've got the Black Hand Cellars on Main Street. They've got Moonstone Cellars on Cornwall Street. They've got Cut Risola Vineyards on Main Street as well. So quite a bit to see and quite a bit to do. Some of the best places they advise staying, and I haven't checked prices: Cambria Pines Lodge, Moonstone Cottages. They have 3 individually designed cottages, making it a prime place for those who like a little privacy, and Ocean Point Ranch. So if you're maybe thinking of doing a weekend or a couple days this summer and you can't afford the big European vacation, Cambria might be a good place to check out. But now we're going international. You guys ready for this? The pictures are incredible. Here we are. We're going to Greece. Look at that. Oh, look at the colors. They just leap out. Leap out. Beautiful. All right. I have the 15 best places to visit while you're in Greece. All right. This is from Travelers Worldwide. They say, despite being slightly larger than the state of Alabama, Greece has a wide range of climates, cultures, cuisines, and experiences. 8,498 miles of premier Mediterranean coastline, 8 major cities, thousands of islands. They say Greece has everything a traveler could want. The first stop on our trip to Greece, it is the island of Corfu. They say it doesn't get more picturesque than this. This is a beautiful island on the Ionian Sea, mountains in the interior, picturesque white sand beaches along the coast. With the Italian, French, and Greek influences, they say it's a foodie's dream. They say it's busy because it's on a lot of people's lists, but you can still get a tranquil moment if you stick to the less populated parts of the coast away from the larger towns. The beautiful beaches here are along the entire coast, small towns dotted throughout this area. They say Corfu is an incredible place to visit for just about every single traveler. They've got nightlife in the town of Kavos. It's kid-friendly beaches in Acharavi, and the most beautiful blue water that you will ever see in this area. Second on the list, this one is for the history buffs among us. This is Knossos. Knossos is a dream. It is the site of Minoan ruins from more than 5,000 years ago during the Bronze Age. Kind of an off-the-beaten path area, a little more than Athens, right? It's an incredibly well-kept city, so you feel like when you're here, you're walking through history. If you're a fan of Greek mythology, Knossos holds the famous Hall of Kings, where the story of the Minotaur and Labyrinth takes place. So if you're traveling with someone who maybe is less of a history buff, or maybe you're not the history buff, it's on the island of Crete. So while you're looking at history, they can check out the beaches in this area. So cool. But yeah, this is Knossos. It's on my bucket list. As of now, it's on my bucket list. Number 3, Rhodes. Look at that. How beautiful and interesting. This is Rhodes. It's the island of Rhodes in the Mediterranean Sea, and it is a Greek paradise with stunning beaches, wooded mountains, miles of hiking, quaint country villages. It's not as busy as Santorini or Mykonos, but they say it's still busy enough to have a bustling town with unique shops and restaurants as well. It is known, Rhodes, as the Island of Knights, home to the medieval town of the same name, where the Order of the Knights of St. John of Jerusalem left their mark at the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, they advise walking through the town's historic grounds, then heading to the countryside, finding some of the best vineyards in Greece. It's a heavy wine tasting today on the After Party Live. Or if you have a little more active vacation desire, you can hike to Salikos or Cretina Castle for outstanding views and less visited medieval buildings. There's another one. This one is called Meteora. Check it out. So cool. Imagine what it took to build on that tippy top of that cliff. How cool is that? They say once you visit Meteora, you'll wonder how it's still a remote destination in Greece, because it's in central Greece. There are 6 monasteries on sheer cliffs in Meteora. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's an official holy place, but not just for religious or historical-minded people. They say everyone will enjoy spending time looking at and exploring the magnificent cliffs and monasteries here. You can hike up to the cliffs, wander around the 6 mandatories, still active today, the Holy Monastery of Great Meteoron. It sounds like something from outer space, is the biggest and the oldest one open for visitors. So that's a really good place to start. So, kind of interesting. The next place we're headed is Crete. And a lot of people go here, but there's a good reason. Look at how beautiful. Beautiful. It's on a lot of bucket lists for a good reason. White sand, bright blue waters. When you think of Greek island, Crete is what probably comes to mind right away. The thinking is you could spend your entire Greek vacation on Crete and never get bored. It's the 5th largest Mediterranean island, has everything a Greek vacation needs. It's got the history, it's got the culture, the food, the beaches, the nature. This is also a must visit for people who are into history as well. They've got Elefanici Beach, which is one of the best beaches because of its pink and white sand, its gentle waves, endless sandbars, perfect for either getting a tan or sipping a ouzo slushy. They say you can take time to hike through the Samaria Gorge because it's gorgeous. I'm going to credit Travelers Worldwide with that one. Next. Oh man, can you imagine? Okay, take a breath and imagine yourself here, standing on that beach, looking out. Take a deep breath. This is Cytherea. So if you're looking to soak up a little sun, maybe you're not a big fan of crowds, Cytherea is exactly what you're looking for. It is supposedly the birth site of the goddess Aphrodite. But there are monasteries here, beaches, there's a castle, there's a Venetian vestige. If you'd like to stay in the more developed areas, Kapsali, Kora, Diakofti, and Agia Pelagia, they say, are towns perfect for grabbing an afternoon drink and watching the sunset. But the best sunset watching spot is at the vestige overlooking Kora, because you can wander down the hill for an authentic Greek dinner right afterward. Beautiful. This is also really, really beautiful. It's called Sifnos. 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 How pretty is that? Look how clear that water is. Wow. So pretty. They say for the crisp white buildings and the sweeping ocean views of Santorini, but without the Santorini prices and crowds, Sifnos is the cheaper alternative. A fantastic city, an island to head to if you're looking for a relaxing vacation. It's really popular with families, couples leaving the partying backpackers to the more popular islands. The Church of Seven Martyrs is here. It's a really picturesque spot to hike to. It's got a blue domed roof, white walls, a backdrop of the Mediterranean Sea. The water's here perfect for sailing or diving adventures. And foodies also love it here. Best bakeries, olive groves, and restaurants in Greece along the 1.5 miles of Sifnos. All right, we'll go a little popular now. That's fine. Because, if we're looking at the 15 best places to visit, this would be Santorini. Look at the color of the sky. I'm telling you guys, what a dream. Santorini, yeah, famous for a good reason. One of the most beautiful places in the world, some of the best nightlife in Europe, and a very big selection of fine and casual dining. They say it's uniquely Greek. If you visit during the calmer months, April, June, September, October, you can make the most of the warm weather without as many people. The reduced number of tourists means you've got an easier time at the beach and enjoying the fine wine in this area. What makes Santorini unique? The famous caldera formed by volcanic explosions. You can see it on a sunset sailing cruise, very obvious. You can wander through the iconic streets of Oia to observe the colorful buildings carved right into the rock. Beautiful. This also beautiful and so interesting. This is Carpathos. Check that out. Telling you, it's a combination of beautiful boutique resorts, crystal clear water, and access to nature and hiking trails. They think it's going to be a hot spot in Greece, the next hot spot, Carpathos. You can still visit, though, before it grows in popularity. It's an ideal spot, according to travelers worldwide, to unwind, spend time reconnecting with yourself and nature. If you do your best relaxing at the beach like I do, Kira, Panagia, and Apella are quiet with white sand and blue waters. One of the best parts of Carpathos, they say, is the excellent hiking you can do. You can hike to secluded beaches. There are really strenuous climbs, if that's your jam, to the top of mountains to get panoramic views. There are trails between traditional villages in the interior as well. Incredible. The next one is for the partiers in the after party. Yeah, Mykonos. If you're looking for the party, you found it. Nightlife here is amazing. If you stay in the capital of Mykonos, which is called Hora, Hora, but it's got a little accent on the O, Hora? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, probably not. But you'll get access to some of the best parties, the best bars, the best clubs within the Mediterranean. And you'll see the Mediterranean Sea in the backdrop as well. So you can get the drinks in Little Venice to start the night off, and the most stunning sunsets from waterfront bars. You grab dinner there as well. There's lots of famous DJs that operate out of this area. And if you want to escape the crowds for the day, you can take a boat over to the uninhabited island of Delos, 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 to walk through some of the most important ancient ruins in Greece. Speaking of ancient ruins, that leads us to Athens. Yes, please. Athens, they say, is not the typical tourist trap. It's a birthplace of democracy, modern science, and Western civilization. There is not a shortage of things to do in this bustling metropolis. You can tour the famed Parthenon for a lesson in history and culture. You can bike the Grand Promenade around the Acropolis to take in the history. There are museums here, the National Archaeological Museum, where you can learn more about the vital influence the Greeks have had on the world. You can not only take in the history, but the food as well, because there are a lot of dining options and cultural options in Athens. So they have food tours here that'll take you to the best spots for authentic Greek food. So they say all you have to do is sit back and eat up. Pretty nice. Again, that's Athens. This is beautiful and interesting and so cool. Look at this. This is Kefalonia. Kefalonia is an island in the Ionian group. It's famous for its picturesque coastal towns, excellent swimming, world-class hotels and restaurants, yes please, and spread along its shore are small towns that offer charming hospitality and delicious food and drink. They say you really shouldn't miss the Cave of the Melisani near Sami, S-A-M-I. You can row around this lake within the roofless cave at high noon, so you can experience the magic of the entire cave filling with blue light thanks to the sun's angle. They say it's breathtaking and that, surprisingly, it's not overrun with tourists. Kefalonia has lively reefs, shipwrecks perfect for underwater exploring and snorkeling, and a very healthy marine life. I want to go boating on the underwater cave area. Can we do that? Let's pretend for just a moment that we're doing that. No? Okay, how about we take in this sunset? Oh, yes, Skopelos. If the Mamma Mia films, they say, even partially inspire your trip to Greece, you should not miss Skopelos. It's an iconic wedding scene taking place on the hilltop church. Remember that scene from Mamma Mia? Agios Loannis Castri, where you can live out your Meryl Streep dreams. So it is famous because of the movies, but really they can't capture the beauty of this place. Sheer cliffs into deep blue waters, golden sand beaches, pine tree forests. They call it uniquely stunning. Swimming, suntanning popular here, hiking up the jagged hills for the views of the sunset. Man, a lot of Greek food, Greek dishes here. Must-try food is the strafidi, which is a cheese piece made with phyllo dough. This looks pretty touristy, this next one. Mycenae. Yeah, lots of lines in this area. So if you go to Athens, but maybe you didn't get your history fill, you can plan a day trip to Mycenae, one of the most well-known historical sites in Greece. It's where the famous King Agamemnon ruled during the Trojan War. The cultural, commercial capital of the entire Mycenaean civilization that stretched all across Greece. Extremely well preserved and researched, you can still walk the hallowed streets today and really feel like you're stepping back in history. They say don't miss, and here's what's happening here, don't miss passing underneath the Lion's Gate, where 2 female lions carved into the stone will watch over you as you enter this ancient city. There's an archaeological museum here. You can learn more about the history of the city and see all of the artifacts that scientists have discovered in the digs that have taken place here. You can climb to the top of the Cyclopean walls for views of the surrounding countryside. Yeah, I'm down. I'd go there. Sign me up. How about we go to Amorgos next? Oh, look at that. That's pretty nice. The southern island of Amorgos stands apart, and that's saying something when you're talking about Greece. The best part, according to travelers worldwide, is that this is the best kept secret in Greece because not many people visit here, so you can really take in these views in peace and quiet. One of the best experiences on Amorgos is hiking up the steep hills to the monastery. A whitewashed, built into the side of the cliffs monastery with some of the best views of the Aegean Sea. Local monks, lucky enough to call it home, will offer samples of raki, the local liquor, and lokumi, a Greek delicacy as well. You can stay in Chora, C-H-O-R-A, Chora, the charming capital of Amorgos, which has whitewashed buildings, cobblestone streets, and hole-in-the-wall boutiques and restaurants, and end the day by taking a dip at Moros Beach or in their sea caves for a refreshing sunset view. So that's Greece. Here's another picture of it. Wow. Yeah. I hope you had a good visit to Greece with me. I hope you saw some things that made you feel a little amazed and wowed and relaxed as well. Made your shoulders drop. Again, thank you to the fine people at Travelers Worldwide for the idea of going to Greece today. And I'm still absolutely blown away by the colors that just leap out in these beautiful pictures. Incredible. Yeah. What do you think? Are you going to Greece? Is that on your list? It's on my list. But I feel like we kind of went there today. All right. Well, that is the After Party Live. Again, thank you. Thank you. Huge, huge thank you to Wes for 5, to Harry for 5, and to both for continued support of the After Party. Thank you for spending your time here as well, and for the messages and for the words of support. You guys are really great, and this is the most amazing community. Really, really. I will see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll have Nikki for the Nikki Maduro show, but if not, I'll be there. Also, Mark Thompson has got tomorrow John Rothman and Belinda Weymouth with It's the Planet Stupid. And then we'll be right back here for the After Party Live. But until then, I hope you make it a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you back here on the old YouTube. Yeah. Bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.